Welcome to the ride with Wild Wayne Cartwright, an exciting thrill ride through the wonderful world of HBCU athletics. Before our trip begins, let's set a few ground rules. First, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Second, hit the like button. Third, please be sure to tell someone else about this show. Now that we've got these things out of the way, it's time for our journey to begin. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am on live and we have just gotten started. We're joining you right here from Radio Row right here in Atlanta. We're live and I'm in progress. I am sitting right here right now. You see the man on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. This is the athletic director of Prairie View A&M University, Anton Goff. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, anytime, man. So, listen, man. I got to just immediately go back 1 week, man.
Okay.
All right? When you boys get that trophy and you got that trademark cowboy hat on, man.
Yeah.
Man, what were just the vibes, man, of the whole journey, man? Talk about it.
You know what? It was, exciting, man. But also in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, this ain't over yet. We got one more, right? Mm-hmm. And, I wanted to enjoy it, but it's hard to enjoy it when I immediately started thinking about what we got to do to get to the Celebration Bowl, like logistics, all that type things, right? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what? And I told myself, I told Coach, hey, man, we will celebrate this after it's all over, but we still got business to take care of. And so, I was excited, but I really didn't enjoy it like I really, really should have because I was thinking about getting here. Now, when we win this game, then I'm going to be able to relax a little bit and enjoy and reflect on the whole journey. Because a year ago, I was sitting in this hotel and I was talking to Coach Tremaine Jackson about becoming the PV head coach. And I told him, I said, man, if you come to PV, we're going to play in this thing next year. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Look at the confidence, man. He said, if you come to PV, we're going to play in this. So basically, you can really say that the head coach, he inherited or he matched the energy of his athletic director.
He matched the energy because he said, I believe we'll be there, right? And it's one of the things, we both talk, man. Me and Coach Tremaine Jackson got a heck of a relationship. We talk every day, man. Sometimes about football, sometimes about life, sometimes just about what's going on in sports. But the one thing that we knew is that he needed me, I needed him. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a great match for me to have what I think is a great man, a great football coach, and a great leader. And I think he feels the same way, like because I support him and, as much football as I think I know or as how much I love football, I'm not in his office telling him the plays to run, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he's not telling me how to run the athletic department, right? And so it's a good match, man. And I think everybody, it started out with me and him believing we was going to be at the Celebration Bowl. Then we put a staff together to believe that. Then we put a team together. And now I think a lot of other people now are just jumping on the bandwagon and understanding like, hey, man, that man's been talking from his press conference about where he was going to take PV football, mm-hmm. and he brought us here.
Yeah, and he did. But at first it started with visionary from the AD. So what did you see in Coach Tremaine Jackson, man, when you were looking to bring him to Prairie View?
So this is what I knew, right? Like anybody who's doing a head coaching search, I wanted somebody that I felt like had integrity, somebody who was a good football mind, somebody who was a leader. But like being where we're at PV, I was super intrigued by having a guy who was from Houston, mm-hmm. right? Someone who was in the SWAC but had experience outside the SWAC, right? I really wanted somebody who understood discipline. And when he talked about his like what his program is about, dog, discipline, obedience, grit, really impressed me. But let me tell you this story. Not a lot of people know this story, right?
Bring it on me, man. Hey, we having fun, brother.
I'm gonna disclose some stuff. So 2023, we're playing FAMU. It's their homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
We can't stay in Tallahassee because there's no hotels. We end up staying in Valdosta, right? Valdosta, Georgia. So I'm sitting there and we eat dinner and I'm like, I want to do something. So I'm a cigar guy, right? So I go downtown Valdosta, get a cigar. As I'm taking the Uber down there, I see this big billboard, Valdosta, Georgia's University, something. And it piques my interest because probably a couple years before that, I watched a Netflix series about Valdosta High School. There you go.
Yeah.
I watched that, right? So I'm like, man, I remember seeing this deal about Valdosta High School, how good it is. I remember when I was in D2, Valdosta was pretty good, right? So I was like, I wonder who the head coach is right now, right? I pull it up. I see Tremaine Jackson. I didn't expect to see no brother, right? Full disclosure, I expect to see somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So I see him, I'm like, oh, it's a brother. So I read his bio, sees from Houston, blah, 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 all this stuff. Played at Texas Southern as a transfer. Had been in some other places in Texas, out at Colorado and all this stuff. So he comes back and he's at Valdosta doing pretty good. I said, man, I need to pay attention to that brother just as a supporter, right? I'm not thinking about him as my coach. Just I'm impressed that he's there, right? We're on our way to win the West that year.
Right.
So I'm not thinking about no coaching change. So we win the West, lose the FAMU in the championship. So I had to go back down to FAMU, which that's a whole that whole thing, right? So boom, 2024, we're predicted to win the West and maybe win this thing, play Jackson State because they had picked them on the other side. Well, that doesn't happen. I end up making a change and end up with Coach Tremaine. So to me, man, something about God's plan.
Yeah.
Those type of things, like that's how I became familiar with Coach Jackson. And then when I delved deeper into who he was and got to know him as a man, a father, a coach, and a Q dog. I'm a Kappa, so we keep it 1911. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that, man. And it just, sometimes, man, God has some mysterious ways of working, man. And we both feel like it's that way.
Yeah. Well, that's some good, man. Y'all see that, man? That's some authentic stuff right there. That's some authentic stuff. So, man, about you though, the man who's been so well traveled, man. I mean, you were AD at St. John's University.
Yeah.
I mean, man, you was at Hartford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so well traveled, man.
Yeah.
So, what about PV really drew Anton Goff, man, to PV?
Couple things. So as you say, right? So I started out in this business a long time ago, man. Started working at Kent State University in Ohio, which is a MAC school. I played football at Bowling Green State University.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio, so I know that stuff.
So I go from Kent State, I go to Maryland, I go to Michigan State, I go back to Maryland. My first AD job was at Bowie State.
Correct.
Division II HBCU, right? Do that. I go to University of Hartford as an AD. I go to St. John's in New York City as an AD. I really, really miss football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those last two jobs, Hartford, St. John's, no football. So I go back, senior associate AD, Northern Illinois, back to the MAC where I got my start. And, people had asked me, man, would you ever go back to an HBCU? And I literally told them, I said, the only place I'd go would be PV. And they were like, well, why? And I said, one, because I felt like the resources of them being in Texas A&M system, them being outside of Houston, but not downtown Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Campus is beautiful. Facilities are top notch. I always felt like PV had everything baseline that you needed. And then if somebody went in there and got that thing right, they'd be a monster, right?
Right.
And so, probably way back in the day, I had been in Houston when Ashley Robinson, who's the AD at Jackson,
correct,
frat brother, real good friend of mine, man. He was the AD at PV. Well, I'd come down for, I think it was Final Four or regional or something in Houston and came out and saw the campus. Like, man, it's beautiful out here, right? And so I always felt like if I ever went back to an HBCU, I'd do that. Well, lo and behold, I get a call from the president out the blue talking about the position.
Mm-hmm.
And she impressed me so much in one conversation. I was like, I'm in. And so it's been ever since, and it's been all love. Yeah, absolutely.
But man, I gotta say, even though I'm a graduate of another A&M, Alabama A&M, and 48-5 really 48-5, boy. Woo, that was tough.
Yeah,
But you know, man, I had Coach Tremaine Jackson on my show back shortly after he got the job. I gotta say, man, I've been a huge fan of his. You know, I root for every HBCU except for however many hours you're playing Alabama A&M. But man, listen, man, you've done a phenomenal job.
Appreciate that.
It's not just as an athletic director, but just enhancing the brand of Prairie View A&M University, man.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And so, I'll get you out of here with this, man. What are some of the other things that people may not know athletically that Prairie View is headed towards, man?
Yeah, no, we feel like we got an exciting time right now. This spring, I was super busy. Hired five head coaches, right? So obviously hired Coach Tremaine Jackson, hired Dottie Hampton as our volleyball coach, brought her down from UNC Wilmington, right? Hired Ty Dillard as our women's basketball coach, brought her over from University of Houston. Hired Daniel Doolin as our baseball coach, brought him down from University of Illinois Chicago, and then hired Cortland Ware as our men's and women's head golf coach and brought him over from Lincoln from Missouri, right? So it's been a super busy spring, summer for me, man. And so we've got a lot of new coaches. We're changing the culture at PV. We launched the first Panther Athletic Fund. So now every one of our programs has their own athletic fund that people can donate to. And we opened up an NIL fund for each one of those too. So if somebody wants to give to their Excellence Fund or their NIL fund, they can do that. If they want to give generally, I have a fund, Purple and Gold Fund, that I can use, as well as the NIL fund that I can help our teams out. Facility-wise, man, we're upgrading. We're going to have some new turf. We just did a brand new basketball court, put up a new scoreboard. As far as what we're doing on the corporate sponsorship side, I brought in a third-party, Tamar Sales. They've been doing a great job with our tickets as well as our corporate sponsorship. So PV's rolling, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're excited about it, and we had a great fall, man. You know, volleyball, they ended up being a regular season champs, right? Didn't make it to the championship, but you know, we're building that there. Obviously, football's doing their thing.
Yeah.
Men's and women's golf won the fall tournament in golf for the SWAC. So, man, we're just trying to keep it rolling, bro.
Hey, man, well, you doing it, man. And you know what, man? You got people, Jared Lott, man, shout out to you, brother. He watches this all the time. You know, he's one of your loyalists, man. He said he goes on every platform, man. He gets on folks. He like, man, that's my PV. And look, he said, man, I'm on a flight right now on the way. Atlanta.
Got to get there.
Yeah, man. So, you know, you got folks, man, that really, really are about the brand, man.
Nah,
and like I said, man, you've done a phenomenal job, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
you. Keep it going, man.
Absolutely.
Except for when you play Alabama.
I got you, man.
Listen, man, he's Anton Goff, everybody, athletic director of Prairie View. Good luck to you guys tomorrow, man. Represent it well. Because the SWAC is I don't know you.
I know.
Yeah. So we'll be back with more in a minute, everybody. Stay tuned.
Stay locked in with Wild Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Wild
sir.
Wayne, all right. All right, everybody, I'm back, and I am here with Mr. Dae'Mon Cherry, number 25 in your program. He plays for the South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
And, you know, we got it all, man. We got it all working right here, man. You know, back-to-back champions of the MEAC. You know, we got this whole thing rolling. You look at the schedule, man. So just talk a little bit, man, about just the journey as a whole, man, as you look on that screen for what you guys went through.
Man, this journey has been a very wild, I wouldn't say wild, but it's been a very fun journey, I should say. After that Charleston Southern game, you could tell we got the rolling, man. There was a lot of adversity that struck that game, and we actually battled pretty tough against South Carolina too. Yeah. It was 3-0 until about 3 minutes until the till halftime. They got 2 punt returns for touchdowns. So we battled SEC team pretty well. But man, just looking at this journey, we did a pretty good job, man. But we got to finish the mission. None of this matters if we don't win tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So, man, I had your head coach on, or I had your one of your former players on, and you know, we talked a little bit about, you know, Coach Prairie and you know a lot of his sayings, man. So you know, I got a lot of his acronyms that he loves. You know, so you talk about you know, going 1-0 every week, obviously.
Every day,
1-0 every day, but also fall in love with the process. So talk about falling in love with the process, man.
Man, the process, falling in love with the process is not just about football. Falling in love with the process is falling in love with working out every morning, going to class, going to study hall, meetings. Yeah. You know, all that stuff is just falling in love with the process. And if we fall in love with that process and going hard in practice, ultimately at the end of the day, we're going to go 1-0.
That's it, man.
Fall in love with the process of going 1-0.
That's it. So I'm gonna pull up your brothers right here, man.
Okay.
These are the guys. These are the guys that are in your wide receiver group, man.
Oh, you know my boys right there.
Yeah, talk about them, man. Talk about them.
J2, hey, J2 having a phenomenal year, man. And I want to give a round of applause to J2 because last year he went through some adversity. He barely played. He was a backup. He came in this year, had an amazing fall camp. Now he's the guy. So I want to commend J2. We got Jalen. He come from Grambling State. He a dog, man. Jalen the dog, man. That's my guy. We got Ruff, man. He just actually hurt himself. He fractured his ankle against North Carolina Central.
I remember that.
And man, he's back. Y'all gonna see him on that field tomorrow.
So he's playing tomorrow.
He's playing tomorrow, man.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
Folk gonna be on the field. 12. Hey man, that boy, he a gazelle, man. He can run. That boy can run, man. That's my boy Nigel. And then you got Nick Sawyer. Nick Sawyer was actually my teammate at Benedict. And I actually played against Ruffin when he was at Allen back in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
And then also Nick, you know, I met him when he was a freshman. So watching him grow up and develop as a young man, it's amazing, man. But those my guys, man. We call ourselves the Yak Boys too.
Yards after the kids.
You know it, man.
Yards after the
yes,
kids,
sir.
Man. You know what it is. But yeah, man. And you boys, man, and you know, man, you guys have been led, man, by another brother that I got to show here for you, man.
Okay.
Talk about this man right here, man.
Billy Atkins, man. That's my boy Billy. Shotgun Billy. Man, Billy, he's a leader, man. He's poised too. That's what we love about Billy, man. Billy's never too high. He's never too low. He's always right here. He's always right here. And when, you know, as receivers, when we get anxious and you know, timid to get the ball, Billy always come through. You know, guys, just calm down and get y'all the ball, man, you know. But Billy, he a cool guy, man. He gonna have a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you know, man, you guys, it's real crazy, man. Just how you talked about, you know, you came from Benedict.
Oh, yes, sir.
And, you know, there's a lot of guys from the staff that came from Benedict, a lot of players that came from Benedict, man. You guys have been together for a while.
Yes, sir.
So is that just talk about, man, what that continuity really means, man, for this family you guys have.
It really means a lot because, you know, back at Benedict, we stood on the same principles that we do here at South Carolina State. So nothing's really changed. It was all about getting everyone else on the same board as us. And so far, man, we've done that. Coach Berry did it his first year here. I wasn't here last year, but he did it his first year here, and you can see they won the MEAC and did what they were supposed to do. So just falling, like we say all the time, fall in love with the process. And also the process is dig deep. Discipline, integrity, God, dedication, execution, effort, pride. Living on those principles, man, and it does numbers for us, man. It really does.
Yeah.
It does, man.
And you see how quick he was able to fire that stuff off, man? Deep.
Dig
And yeah,
deep.
I pulled that up, man. The deep principle. I love that. So, man, just tomorrow, man, when you get out on that field, man, what's the process for you as you get ready to go through your game day rituals, man?
Can you say that one more time?
What's your game day ritual process?
I take the field, I walk around the field, I put on some gospel music, I just get in my mode, man. Then I turn on some young boy, Lil Wayne. But I like to just focus and, just think about everything that I've been through to get to this moment that I'm at now. This is my last game of my college career, so it's only right to go out with a win.
Yeah, and so you've been at this since a little boy, right?
Little boy, man.
What was the first team you ever played for?
Cumminsville Bears. Back in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Man, I'm from Ohio too, man.
You from Ohio?
Cleveland.
Okay then, man. We're Ohio brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so you've been at this since a little kid, man. So all this leading up to tomorrow, man, it could potentially be a real perfect ending. But regardless, man, God's got a really good plan for you.
He does.
Because he's already brought you this far.
Yes, sir.
And it's great, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, I love that you sat down with me, man.
Thank you, man.
He's Dae'Mon Cherry. He's a wide receiver. He's number 25 in your program.
Yes, sir.
Look for him on that field tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
Go Dogs.
We'll be back in just a little bit. All right, everybody, we're back. And as you can see, I'm sitting down with the offensive coordinator of the South Carolina State Bulldogs, Jonathan Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Williams, he is the overseer of that offense that has been putting up numbers from the very beginning of the season. And, man, I got some stuff for you, man. I got some stuff. So first off, man, let's talk about these running backs, right?
Okay.
This group of running backs. Also, I included Ryan Stubblefield in the group because, Ryan Stubblefield gets in the box too. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Talk about this running back group, man.
I think they're very explosive. They all have unique traits. Ryan is a quarterback, of course, and he's a very explosive player. I think he's one of our most explosive players on the team. But when it comes to our leading rusher, you have Tyler Smith. He does some great stuff for us. He's the leader of the room. Him and Kazarius Adams, which they have KZ Adams. He does some great stuff. And then Josh, he's kind of the thunder of the room. He's the heaviest back, but he gets downhill and he has that breakaway speed as well.
Yeah, now the thing that is interesting, man, they all have these unique and different traits, like you said. I tell people all the time on my show, I talk about Josh Shaw. I call him y'all closer, man. Because that dude, like those two tough games down the stretch, the North Carolina Central and then the clincher against Delaware State.
Yeah.
Getting those hard, tough yards down the stretch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely him. You see his picture right there. You look like a closer. He looks super serious. Everybody else pretty much smiling.
Yeah. And then we go on, man. We go to the wide receiver group, man. Talk about these boys, man.
Another dynamic room, man, and led by Jordan Smith, our leading receiver and the conference leading receiver as well. He's a doer. Jordan Smith is a doer, man. And what I mean by that, he goes out, he shows it by his performances on Saturday, and he shows it in his performances throughout the week. I don't think he's pretty much lost a gasser all year. So he leads by example, but he's also that vocal guy in that room. But they have a number of leaders. You just spoke with one of them, Dae'Mon Cherry, and they have Jalen Johnson and DeAndre Ruffin also leading that room as well. Then you have the two guys at the bottom, Nigel and Nick Soul. Those are the young guys, the up and coming guys. But they've done some great things for us this year. They continue to emerge throughout the year, and I'm just excited about the room and what they bring.
Yeah, man. And then we gotta shout out the big fellas, man. You got this offensive line led by Roger Big Baby Smith, man, coming from my area, man, Maple Heights, Ohio, Cleveland area. He's the lineman of the year. Talk about these boys that they're paving the way, man.
They call themselves the Big Diesels. That's what they call themselves, man. But excited for those guys as well. Been with Big Baby for a while, going back to Benedict College. Big Baby has played every snap for us since I've been with him.
Wow.
And he's played every position pretty much except center. Big Baby is special. He's a special talent. I have a ton of faith in that guy to go out there and perform at a high level. And then you have the rest of them just adding guys like Chevy Trask, James Reddick, around those guys, around him. I think that boosts their level of playing. Then Moses Jamore, he's a guy right from the Atlanta area, from Carver High School. Just athletic, strains. He's a really good talent up there up front. Sometimes if you see him, he's very lean. How you want him to look. So, and then the last one, the young pup of the room, Keondae Marsh. Man, I can't say enough about that young man. He came in early, missed prom. He was a spring enrollee and ended up playing. He's played every snap for us this year as a true freshman. So it's great to have him out there and learning from these guys in front of him. So I think he has a bright future ahead of him as long as he just keeps on that path.
Yeah, man. And then, we wouldn't be outdone if we didn't shout out your trigger man. So talk about the relationship you have with Billy Atkins, man.
Me and Billy Atkins, we have a great relationship. I like to describe the type of relationship we have as, I would say, professional. But at the end of the day, Billy he's a grad from JMU up in Virginia, but he comes to work as a pro each and every day, and he understands that once the game of football is gone, we're gonna be friends. He's gonna be able to call me, I'll be calling him, and he'll probably still call me coach, but at the end of the day, we have a friendship relationship after the game of football in college.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about the offense, but now let's talk about you, man. So you've been with Coach Berry a while, man.
Yes, I have.
And you really climbed a nice trail, man. You paved a real good trail for yourself. As I've said before, man, I talked about all of the acronyms, but which one really resonates with you?
Oh man,
I got him on that one.
Oh man.
Look, it says South Carolina State, they got a lot of acronyms.
It's definitely a lot. It's definitely a lot. I think probably pay the fee is probably the one that I think resonates with me the most. Mm-hmm. Just paying the fee, because each and every day you go to work, you have to pay a fee in order to be the best that you can be in that role. All right, so that's probably one, and buy-in is one that we've had this year, and hold the rope, HTR. So for this year, I would say hold the rope, because we've been in some moments this year where I think a lot of people doubted us because we played 2 top 20 teams in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So it was tough moments, and we all, both coaching staff, players, support staff, we all had to hold the rope and not let go of it, and kind of believe in each other in order to get the job done this year. So this year it's hold the rope, HTR.
All right. So now let's just get a little bit more into about tomorrow, right? Obviously, you guys were here on this stage last year. You knew what that felt like. I was here with you. I remember I sat in that press room. I listened to Coach Berry talk about just how things went. You guys use that as fuel to your fire to get back, and now you're back. Talk about this matchup, man, against Prairie View. What are the things that you see in their defense that just from your perspective as the OC, man?
Well, when you really look at their defense, they're top 5, if not number 1 in every category defensively. And I'm not only talking about in the conference and in SWAC play. I'm talking about nationally. They're pretty stout, man. Got a ton of respect for those guys. Know Coach Early on that staff, so have a ton of respect for him. But they're a stout team, stout defense. We got to come out and just play our best game, do what we've been preparing for all week.
Yeah, I hear that, man. So, man, listen, this has been a great time, and I've enjoyed just listening to you, man, just talk about things. But just for you personally, man, in football, you've been in this as a player, you've been in this, the whole thing now is coaching. How rewarding is it, man, when you go through all of these reps and all these wars, all these late hours that you stay up, man? How rewarding is it to see the fruits of your labor just reach to this stage?
It's very rewarding. It shows you the process that you've taken actually works. I think we were in the NFL symposium yesterday morning, and one of the guys up there, he was the director of player performance or player development, and he was saying if you're a sophomore or a junior and you're not starting, the first step you have to take is look in the mirror at eye and fix your process. So going throughout the year and getting to this moment, you realize that your process works. Now you just have to finish the deal. You have to close it out to complete the whole process and make it all count.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's the offensive coordinator of South Carolina State, Jonathan Williams. They're looking to get in the winner's circle tomorrow and redeem themselves from last year. Back-to-back MEAC champs, man. Not an easy thing to do. And this has been one of the leaders that helped them do it. Jonathan Williams, thank you for joining me here.
Thank you,
brother. And we'll be back with more just in a minute. So, long time no see.
Exactly.
I'm here once again with MEAC Commissioner Sonja Steels. Man, it's been a long travel for you.
It's been a long week. That's okay. It's coming to the end. Tomorrow, the pinnacle of all, HBCU Division I football.
That's it. That's it. And so with all of this that's really taking place, just the all of the buildup, because everybody always talks about the end of the thing, right? But we sometimes lose sight of all that's in between. We lose sight of the beginnings. We lose sight of the highs and lows. As I say on my show, the ride, the roller coaster.
Yeah.
You got to go up the hill, and then there's that anticipation as you're going up the hill. So with all the buildup, just take me back to the very beginning. Let's just go from when MEAC Media Day ended, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you and your office had to experience to get ready for this MEAC football season?
Wow. It's amazing when you think about, you can't predict how the season was going to go. And I think for us in the office, it's getting settled into what the story is going to look like. And you think what the story is going to be, based on the predictions that were done at Media Day. And then once these teams start to go, when you start thinking about, of course, South Carolina State and, being up top with North Carolina Central, you're like, oh, okay, I don't know. But then when it came down to it, you have a team who was picked last, who came all the way down to the championship. So, how could you predict that? But it was basically of us going where the story would take you and just seeing everything unfold. So I think that for us, was like the real story.
Yeah. And it's been a real story because I will admit, Deshaun Jackson, he took me to task a little bit on one of those media calls. He said, I know. He said, you picked us to be last. And I said, but even though I picked you to be last, I said, I'm very pleased and I'm very excited about where you've taken this thing.
Yeah.
So now, as you've now gone through the entire ride,
yes,
you've gone down the hills, you've turned the corners,
flipped upside down.
Yeah, you did all that too. You went warp speed with
yes.
So now that you're at the Celebration Bowl now, right? Like, what is just the overall satisfaction level feel when you just walk in these rooms?
It's it's a great feeling that no matter what team it would have been in, you had the best team, because they really fought all the way to the end. There were no runaway games. It was close all the way. So that you would have had the best team to compete here at the Celebration Bowl. So, I'm just proud of the young men, their opportunity to be in this environment, and to enjoy this bowl experience, and something that, majority of them would not have been able to do that thanks to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah. So I'm going to backtrack to our last conversation, because since we had our last conversation, I brought up about media rights, and we talked about how MEAC is looking to try to make a little bit different inroads in terms of its own platform.
Sure.
So I have to give you a little bit of feedback. So a lot of people, they were very, very pleased to hear about that. Okay. They were pleased to hear that, we talked about how SWAC has SWAC TV and how it's done so well. They were really, really pleased to hear, especially the part when you said, we've got a lot of overseas parents of our Olympic sports.
Absolutely, yes.
And that they would like to be able to see their children compete.
Absolutely.
When it's not behind a paywall.
Right.
So would you like to, add a little bit more to that?
Sure. It's very important. I think when I first became the commissioner is to find those opportunities to increase the national visibility of our student athletes and our programs. And at the time, we had not broadcast all the Olympic sports. And so the first one that we did was tennis. Now, all the international students that are on tennis. And so, it was so amazing to be able to bring that opportunity for them for their families to see them and the fans to see the product that we have at HBCUs. And then the last sport that we did was cross country last year. And, who would have thought, how do you do broadcast cross country? But it was amazing. What I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And so that's what we want to do, is to continue having all of our sports broadcasts so that everybody can see exactly what's going on here in the MEAC at HBCUs. And so that will be, again, another recruiting piece for our coaches and just further amplify what we're doing here in the conference.
That's great. Now, some other things.
Sure.
I know we previously talked about how some of your other sports were housed in the MEC, soccer, things like that.
Yeah.
So where do you sit in the current plan or just the standing of that, trying to get it a little more branched into MEAC housing?
Sure. Or actually, within the next 2 years, we should have men's and women's golf back here in the conference, which is tremendous. Of course, we had men's golf previously. And so adding the addition of women's golf is lovely. And so I think one of the sports that we sponsored was baseball, but unfortunately we don't have that as a in the future, hopefully soon, but not in the near future, because we need we need 2 more institutions to come in to either add baseball or to come into the conference with baseball. I hope that would happen sooner than later. I had one of the baseball student athletes say, when can we come back to the MEAC? And I'm like, I'm crushed. I'm so crushed, because I would love to bring that sport back under, HBCU and have that championship experience or access for our student athletes.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. See, you thought I wasn't gonna have this. You thought I wasn't gonna have much to talk. Yeah, see, we got a lot going on here.
You're right.
It's a lot. This stuff never stops.
True.
It keeps going.
Yes.
So here, I'll get you out of here in the next few minutes with this one.
Okay.
All right. To those who wonder about the direction and about the performance of the MEAC, because we know all the elephants in the room, we know all anybody ever wants to talk about is one thing.
Yes.
In Sonja Steele's way, what would you say to anyone that questions about the direction of the MEAC?
Oh, wow. The MEAC is strong. We have our Elite 8 member institutions, and we are really focused in on our strategic and long-range plan. This is not something that's done in a silo. This is a vision of all of our stakeholders, from the coaches all the way down or all the way up to our presidents. And so we have a plan. We just got to work the plan. We got to strengthen our foundation. We are great at 8. Ooh, look, we great at 8.
Great at 8.
We're great at 8. And just like the Ivy League, they're 8, and nobody's rushing them to add institutions. And I think we can take our time in making sure that we bring in the institutions that really fit who we are as a conference, and academically, how we look alike. We definitely have higher research institutions in our conference, and that speaks volumes. And I think that's really where our focus is going to be, is concentrating on what we're going to do together as a conference.
Yeah, and this league's been around for 55 years.
55
years, and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen. And I will just personally say, I'm a huge fan of this woman. I'm a huge fan of the work that she does.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan of all that she does for women and minorities. I'm a huge fan for just equality as a whole. And I just wanted to give you your flowers again.
Thank you.
Because it needs to be said.
I appreciate it.
And I don't care what anybody thinks. Wild Wayne loves and supports Sonja Steele and the MEAC.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So, any final words you want to say, or
final words? Support the MEAC, support your HBCUs. But if you want to support all 8 member institutions, then please donate to the MEAC Foundation. You can go to meacfoundation.org to donate. Any little bit helps.
there it is. Wild Wayne Cartwright with Sonja Stills once again. May it not be a long time until we speak again.
That's right.
All right. God bless. And that's me at Commissioner Stills. Need very much introduction. You guys see this man on ESPN every single day, whether it's Get Up, NFL Live, whatever. But for those who don't know him, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Wayne, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It is great to have you on the ride and so much to talk about. So
Always.
all right, apologies for was trying to load up a couple things, but listen, I'm pleased to be joined by the Marva from MTMV Sports.
That's it. And I'm so glad to be with Wayne Cartwright. I'm like, I hear his voice every Monday. We're colleagues on the SWAC calls. Oh my God, it's so funny. Good to meet you in person.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're meeting for the very first time right here. This is man, it's a long season and it's always a reward to pay it off when we get to sit right here.
Yes. And you know, I'm a former Miss Grambling State, and my podcast is the Throne Room Podcast. And I started this when Hugh Jackson was our head coach. And then my producer's like, Queen, I think you could, expand and do SWAC. And I'm so glad that he suggested that, because I've gotten a chance to meet awesome journalists like yourself. I'm a novice compared to you guys. And I watch and I listen to you all. And I think you do an outstanding job. And so thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, anytime. And, so we're here and listen, with Grambling, I know that it was, you guys had a really good year compared to some of the prior ones.
Mhm.
It didn't end the way you wanted to.
No.
I said, however, you guys have some things for the future, right?
Yes, we do. And I'm I'm elated as to where we ended up this year, except for the Bayou Classic. That was a big surprise for us, but we had all those injuries. And Coach and I, we have a show together, and he was constantly trying to come back from injuries. And T-Sid, who is still, not back. We haven't heard anything yet. And then we had Fry to go out with the shoulder injury. Then Darrensburg, his leg. And so here we have this freshman who didn't even have a jersey with his name on it, right?
Right. When you played my Alabama A&M Bulldogs.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, who is this kid? And I got to know him, and even the young man, Cruz, number 13, the running back, he's from Chicago. He's from Chicago Simeon, and I'm from Chicago Dunbar. That's a big thing you don't know or understand. We're both vocational high schools, and but we are rivals. And to meet him and just some of the other young men, but they were trying to keep it together. And I think they did the best that they could under the circumstances. And they were in position to win. We just missed a couple of field goals, made some horrible penalties. And that's what, knocked us off our square. But I think we have a future, and I'm excited about that. But I tell my alums all the time, it's not the decades when we were going there.
Right.
It's a different landscape now. NIL, the profit sharing, facilities. Our legacy is still there, but we have to figure out the formula to get us back where we used to be. But I was just telling the AD from Prairie View, like, we always schedule you for homecoming because we knew that Prairie View was that school, and they lost consistently. They were the bottom feeders, but look at them today. And I congratulated him because I couldn't imagine having pride in my school and we're never winning or we're never on top. And I'm very, very happy for Prairie View today, even though I'm Graham fam.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like to win. And I know what it's like to travel with Coach Eddie Robinson. I know what it's like to walk through the airports with the G-men because I, travel. But to see them here, I'm very happy for them.
That's good. So while we're talking about Prairie View, so you guys obviously played them. My Alabama A&M, we played them too, or at least we tried to.
It was rough, wasn't it?
It was rough,
Yeah.
man. Look, but listen, what are your thoughts about just schematically, just everything? Just talk about what you think about Prairie View and their chances here tomorrow.
Prairie View has a great chance to win. Why? Because they can score. Cam Peters, I met him last year. And he struggled. They had two quarterbacks last year, and I know he was battling for that QB1 position early on this season, but he has shown himself to be strong as a QB. He's not afraid. He's consistent. He may do a little, mistake. He may have a mistake every now and then, but he has shown up, and I'm very, very proud of him. Their defense has shown up, especially against Jackson State. I thought that Jackson's offensive line was going to manhandle them. That didn't happen. Okay.
Yeah.
They are just on fire. They are on fire. And, my colleague, Dr. Ernest Ricks, he covers MEAC for our network. And I haven't gotten a chance to go and dibble and dabble over there, but I have watched a couple of games. And so I know that the MEAC is very physical. There's some physical guys over there. But Prairie View seems to have all phases of the ball under control. And so it's going to be a great game. And I was even talking to the offensive coordinator for South Carolina State, Jonathan Williams.
Yes.
He's a former G-man. And I told him, I said, how does it feel to be on the other side? He was like, well, it's my job. He's like, but these guys can play. He said, these guys can play. And so I'm just excited, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a great one.
I'm really excited because, and I have to say, I don't just cover the game, journalistically and obviously podcast wise. I am a bit of an analyst as well, and I do a lot of, everybody's seen my exhaustive analytics, but the thing about these exhaustive analytics, even for as exhaustive as I was when I went over the game with Jackson State and Prairie View, just what the analytics didn't tell you, it didn't show you the heart that Prairie View had. Analytics, for all that we know and all that we can see, it doesn't cover heart. And really, everybody I've talked to, really, that game really shouldn't have been
That
as close as it was, because they left a lot of meat on the bone. But I feel like tomorrow, is definitely a lot of chips on shoulders. Obviously, South Carolina State, they were here last year. I was here last year with them. I saw all the faces. I sat in the press room when Coach Berry was talking about, how he felt, the disappointment. And now they're back again trying to redeem themselves. Prairie View, they felt disrespected by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got a lot of chips on their shoulders to want to just try to bring it home and just really show. First time ever. So it's going to be definitely a big a grand event, and I hope as many people can make their way into Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Me too. I don't care what school you attended. I think you should be in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Why? Because this is a celebration bowl. It is a celebration of HBCU football, our pride, our schools. When you go to a Grambling, when I did, the world was just Grambling, right? But as I've gotten older and started covering other schools, I'm just like, oh my God, look at that school. Look at their traditions. That coach is really an awesome man. And he has the same desires and goals for his players and their president and their ADs. So it's a beautiful thing to be an HBCU grad.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who went to Alabama A&M. And so when we're losing against anybody, he goes, that's what y'all get. John Thomas, if you're watching this or when you watch this, I'm talking about you. He's so messy. And he is Alabama A&M strong, okay? But this is about us. Mm-hmm. This is about us. But going back to Prairie View, and I know Jackson State, I love Coach TC. Wasn't he amazing to interview every week? I usually got the last question every week. I'm like, oh, that's a wonderful thing. But Coach TC, I mean, that man, he coached. It was top tier coaching this year. And then you look at Coach Robinson, top tier coaching. He just lost to Jackson State at the last second or so. I mean, it was a great season.
It was.
And then look how Alcorn came back in the latter part of the season. They beat us on their home turf. Like, it was just, in the West, it's always crazy, but the East was too.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is everybody kept saying, well, not me. A lot of folks kept saying, West is weak. West is weak. But look who won and look who's representing.
Yes.
And the crazy thing too is when I did my preview of the SWAC championship, I put side by sides of the schedules between Prairie View and also Jackson State. I showed that they had 6 common opponents. And I said, okay, so everybody says they hadn't played anybody, right?
Right.
But look at the same teams you played, and they were by similar outcomes, right?
That's right.
And so now when you get to this point, it really goes to show you that we can do all these preseason predictions.
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It's the heart.
Yes, it is.
You said it. It's the heart. And when people have heart, and prayer and God and faith and works, it all comes together. And this is the result. And not that Jackson State didn't have it. It just wasn't meant.
Just wasn't meant for them.
It just wasn't meant because they were a great team too. And then look how Grambling beat them in Las Vegas.
Yep.
That was a great game. We had lost our quarterback. They lost Jacobian early in the game. But the young man, what's the young man that was his replacement?
So you had
the tall young man.
Yeah, Jared Lockhart.
Yes. That young man can play.
Yeah,
he can ball. And I didn't see them really miss a beat.
Not at all.
I just think that our offense did their job with their defense.
Yeah.
And our special teams won the game for us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you can never, even though Grambling was supposed to be, we were walking through Las Vegas, man. Let me tell you, Jackson State fans are very, very passionate. We are too. But when I tell you they're little local, I mean, like, it was crazy. And they were like walking up on us and talking crazy. And I'm like, okay, relax. We understand you won the Celebration Bowl. we were the first. You know, I had to try to come back like that. But I mean, they were so passionate and they were really, really hurt. And one of my closest, we had an alumni party with the Jackson State alums from Chicago and our Chicago chapter. We did it at the Hard Rock, and it was sold out. But they came in with tears. They were literally crying. I mean, they were really passionate, and we are too. But they didn't expect that. So we had the heart. I was down on the field pregame. Grambling players were so focused. They weren't saying anything. Jackson State, you know how they do. They're saying, I mean, they're just going to do you in Mississippi. You know, they were really, and people like that kind of thing too. But let me tell you, we had the heart that day and we won.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. You got a really good relationship with Coach Mickey Joseph.
Yes.
I know you do. And I've been a big fan of Mickey Joseph the entire time. I think that he really had to deal with a lot this year, more than what he even presented.
Yes.
So, from your perspective, is he going to be back?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him since the Bayou Classic. I know that prior to, when I interviewed him before the Bayou Classic, he was just saying that, you know, we're building, you know, and then I saw him at the coaches luncheon in New Orleans, and that was so great. He got up and he was saying, I got my people with me, and he seemed to be very optimistic. He was like, you know, we're building. And so I hope that he comes back, or that he, you know, that his contract is renewed. I believe he had a 2-year contract or something like that. But I know he was vested. You know, he was invested in the kids, and he loved those young men. And he always talked on my show, those are my guys. We're like a family. You know, I protect my, you know, he's a protector. Mickey is very, very loyal to his players and to his coaches and even to the administration. So I'm praying that they come together and extend his contract because I think we are on to something.
Yeah.
And it's not all about, you know, this kind of coach or that kind of coach. I just think it takes time.
Yeah.
And I was telling some alums, you know, at Bayou Class, I'm like, look at Alabama State. He's been there 4 years, and look where he's at. You just can't keep changing coaches. And I'm saying we have to make sure that we don't make our HBCUs a place where good coaches don't want to come and coach.
Correct.
Because we're all over the place as fans, alums who give money and all of that. That changes the whole team. If we lose one season, oh no, they gotta go. You know, I'm sure you in some of those.
Yeah.
What is it, rough in the swag?
Hey, I see it all.
Yeah.
I see it all.
MEAC versus swag.
All of it.
And it's crazy. I'm like, you gotta stick with somebody. You have to give people an opportunity. You have social media now. You have the transfer portal. We've all talked about that on the show. And it's constant change. It's playing chess. If you don't have that money, nope. These kids today, they may know about Eddie Robinson, but they don't care. It's the bells and whistles. Some of these high school players are playing in stadiums that are, what, 50 million? And they're being offered real money. Money that they cannot turn down.
Real money.
You know, I was thinking about Julian Calvez, you know, who was number 4 for us a couple of years ago. And he went in the transfer portal because Coach Dooley, when he became our OC, he decided to go in another direction. And so now he's at University of Tennessee Martin. They offer him a nice, you know, because I was trying to help him because he's from Florida and I have connections with Bethune-Cookman and, you know, and I called, they're like, no, we already have a quarterback. And then they came back and said, is Calvez available? And I was like, Calvez, you know, why don't you talk to him? He was already gone because they offered him a 5-figure salary. Yeah.
And
what can we do?
And you know, the thing about it is we talk a lot about, you know, I say it like we're in church, but it really is kind of like that. We talk about passing the plate. Everybody give. We need you to give. But also, it's not even just giving. A lot of it comes down to just simple attendance, man. And, you know, like I said, you spoke to AD Goff. I spoke to AD Goff. I'm pretty tight with my AD at
Paul
Alabama
Bryant.
A&M, Dr. Brian, who was at your place.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
You know, we know the tasks that's at hand.
So many.
And it goes further beyond everything that we see, you know, in these conferences and things, you know, when you talk to them about, you know, when you pull them to the side and you say, hey, what's up, doc, whatever. There's a lot of stuff that they're dealing with. It's real world issues that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about, I'm trying to balance my budget. I'm trying to increase my budget. Hello, somebody.
Hello.
I'm trying to increase my budget. So you got a lot of these different things that we're trying to get done, but it takes cash.
It takes money.
And NIL can't be NIL without cash.
Without cash. And they want the cash.
Yeah.
They want the money. And that's what they're loyal to. And
Yeah.
you can't blame them.
Yeah.
You can't blame them.
So man, I've had this time to spend with Marva Nichols, man. And listen, when this season comes up here, this next season,
Yes.
look, I'll come on your show. You
Yes,
come
let's
on,
do
you
it.
come on the ride.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want. You want to come on a Sunday, you
Come
want to
on.
come on a Wednesday, it don't matter.
Whenever
Whatever.
we're gonna figure it out. And thank you for having me. I appreciate my swag brother for pulling me in on his show today. And God bless. And we're excited. Hey, you all watch the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. I've got Executive Director John. You know, Executive John. You know, he's coming on next. John Grant. He's coming on next. And just stick with your boy. All right. Back in just a moment.
Red Lobster Band of the Year.
Absolutely. So I am here with the executive director of the Celebration Bowl. We sat together before, and it's a pleasure to sit with Mr. Grant once again.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, anytime. So 10th occasion, and you know, to mark the 10th occasion, you know, I've got a little something here. You know, we'll take you a little bit back down memory lane. You know. So as you look through the history, you see all the scores, you see the game results, you see a little bit of the people who made this thing, you know, what it is, and all the celebrations. Man, just talk about, man, the first 9 years and just everything that is taken to get this thing up to year 10 and now beyond.
Well, you know, we certainly, anytime you get something to 10 years is a milestone, and we're thankful for the support of our sponsors. We're thankful for the support of fans. We're thankful for the support of the institutions that participated, because our conference partners with the MEAC and the SWAC, you know, you don't do anything on your own, and we have great conference partners that are as committed to this as we are. And so the results sort of speak for themselves, because, you know, they're sending their absolute best. They're champions. They made the decision to forego the automatic qualifier in the NCAA football playoffs, which was a huge decision, to come and do this because they believed in it. And so what we want to do is, as we always try to do, is create the best experiential content. So our view is that we're not putting on football games.
Right.
Our view is that we're creating content, and that content has to have a level of experience that people would want to pay to engage in,
Correct.
and which is what they do. But the beautiful thing about when you work in from the perspective of content creation, it has no destination. It's always evolving. We always want to make sure that when a fan comes next year, that it's a little bit different than the year before.
Correct.
And that their experience is constantly growing and evolving.
Yeah. So when you talk about year to year, all right, this is something I thought about when I was thinking about when I was coming back down here, because I know I sat with you last year and we talked about the beginnings, we talked about everything. But now when you talk about from year to year, what is that process with the debrief? When do you and your staff get started on the next event?
While we're doing the event we're in.
So tomorrow he's got all the notes.
That's like asking yourself the question about, how you live. When do you start the process of self-evaluation to consistently make yourself better? Do you wait until your next birthday?
Nope.
To review the year?
Nope.
Or do you do it in every moment that you're in?
You do it in the moment.
When we do the same thing in terms of how we work within creating these experiences, we work within the moment. And so we're looking at next year right now.
Yeah. So you're looking at the 11th edition while we're already in the 10th
while
edition.
we're doing the 10th edition, because it is a continuum.
Yeah.
It doesn't just let me do this, it's going to stop, that one ends. And then at some point, I'm going to start this back up again. It is because once we come when we come through this game, the actual event will end on Saturday, but the conversations will continue.
Yeah.
And we want people to start thinking about next year, this year. And they will do that if you give them something that either they haven't had before or something that makes them go, wow, I want to have that again.
Yeah. So you're talking about experiences and you're talking about these events. So we'll pull up right here. You got the band of the year. So talk about just the band of the year going down tonight.
Another experience that's wrapped around championship weekend, wrapped around the Celebration Bowl. So we're with the Cricket Celebration Bowl, we crown a national football champion. With the band of the year, we've created something where you're actually crowning a national band champion. That bands have a platform where they can compete all season long. And you've been to football media days. What's the one thing that every coach, no matter who it is, every coach says they have a goal to do what?
They have a goal. They have a goal to increase attendance, increase the fan engagement, increase the overall atmosphere.
I'm going to sum it down to you. Every coach says, I want to get to Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, that too.
Now, along the way,
yeah,
I want to do all these other things.
Inside of it, but yes, I want to get to Atlanta.
If you ask them, hey, my goal is to get to Atlanta. Now, marching bands are saying the same thing.
I want to get to Atlanta.
I want to get to Atlanta. And so this year we have, a just a phenomenal matchup, as you know. We have Southern University, the Human Jukebox, taking on the reigning national champion, who earned their way back into this, Florida A&M Marching 100. So, in our committee, in doing the evaluations or the adjudications through the course of the year and putting out the rankings, one of the things that they say is that, look, if you are a reigning champion, if you get into the top 3, then you've earned, that puts you in an elite. When you get to the top 5, you're in the elite bands. Yeah. And so everybody has a goal now to move into that space. So you now have 2 elite bands, Southern University and Florida A&M, whose football teams didn't do too well this year.
Yeah. No.
However, their marching bands can still bring home a national championship.
Correct.
So while the football team's at home, the band is still playing.
Yeah.
The same thing at Division II with Miles College, who was the champion last year, made it to the top 3, so they got to return to defend, taking on Fayetteville State, who's a newcomer into this.
Right.
The chancellor there invested a lot of money into the band program, and he's seeing the return. That band is now vying for a national title.
Yeah.
So think about the fact that a university, HBC University, whether you're Division I or Division II, you have 2 tracks to a national championship.
Yeah, one on the football field
and
one through the band.
And one through the band. So what that does, it creates a different level of experience for fans through the season. Because when that band's performing at halftime, they're just not performing. I'm competing against the band across the field. I'm competing against the entire field.
Yeah.
And my getting ready for this other band that's in front of me is really my sharpening, my skills and making myself better in the competitive sense. Because if I get to Atlanta, I've got a 15-minute show to put everything I have out there on the line. And the final part of this, and I thank you for letting me talk about it. It's also, because that band director, music educator, now has the commitment to teach his students or her students to perform at the highest level.
Yeah.
Not just to perform here, but we got to perform here if we're going to be championship level. And added to that, what we're looking to do is also educate the fan on what a good band is, what the technical aspects are, what the steps are, what drill and design really is. Are the lines straight? Are you paying attention? Is the section in step?
I love
musicality. Do you know what you're really listening to? Not because they play loud, because they play good.
Yeah.
Is it, their tone, the intonations? Are you familiar with what that is? When the band is stepping, are their toes pointed straight? You're now you become an educated person to know what quality is.
It is.
And right now, the vast majority of fans don't know what quality is. If you're a band member,
Yeah.
But if I'm a fan, I just know I like my band. I don't. You know why I like them? Because they're my band.
Right.
And so I think my band is better than anyone else. But technically, are they? And do you know what you're looking at? And when fans know what they're looking at, guess what it does? It elevates
the curve, and it makes the band performance so
even
much
better. And that's what the band of the year is going to do. Now, you go through a process when you introduce anything new, because you have to pull people along. But I'm saying to you, you want to see something that's unique that doesn't happen anywhere else, nowhere else. Be it if you're in Atlanta, you need to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium tonight. Tickets are $20, as low as $20. Or if you can't be here, you can tune in on ESPN Plus, 7:00.
You heard the man.
And get a sense of what that is. And the fact that the young men and women who in these bands last year, first year North Carolina A&T won, they bought championship rings for all their band members. Last year, Florida A&M bought championship rings for all their band members. Miles College, beautiful championship rings for their band members. And when I went out to watch them rehearse, I hadn't seen this Mr. Grant. They showing that ring. They're doing a little bit this because think about that.
Yeah.
As a marching band.
That's awesome. And you want to get to Atlanta.
Yes. And on top of that, in the last 2 years, we've spent $1.1 million directly to bands.
See, it's good stuff.
It is.
It's good stuff. It goes even further, and it talks about the events. I love it.
So it's a marching sport.
Love it. Love it. Super Bowl.
So now, when you're back at Alabama A&M, you're going to be looking at your band just a little bit different because now you're going to be encouraging them. Hey, we want to get to Atlanta.
Absolutely. Like, hey, marching maroon and white. Hey, Mr. Carlton Wright. We gotta get our game together so we can show up in Atlanta.
We can be in Atlanta.
There it is. So let me ask you this. All right. So we talk about being here in Atlanta. We talk about the Celebration Bowl. All right. So we know that I was telling my wife this last night. We were talking about how the date moved up a week last year. Was that a really difficult decision for you guys, or well, talk about that.
Was it difficult? No. Did it require us to really look at a lot of factors and options? Yes. But once we did the due diligence, the decision was pretty obvious. Number one, for us, the Celebration Bowl became grew because it was the first game. You want to, you want to be first. And I tell people this: in whatever you're doing, you want to be first. If you're interviewing for a job, don't be the last person coming in for the interview.
Right.
Because if you're first, people are sharp. You're sharp. If you're last, people are tired.
Yeah.
And no matter what you're saying, wah, 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 that's kind of what it sounds like. Same thing in a 43 game bowl season. 43 games
43.
Played in about 3 weeks. If you're not first, you're in the middle of the pack. Is anyone really paying attention?
Yeah.
And you couldn't be at the end because that's where all the big ones are.
Right.
So we evaluated all of that and realized we didn't want to be during the week. Doesn't work for us.
No.
You don't want to be on a weekend where the NFL is playing football on Saturdays,
Right.
or going up against the college football playoffs. That doesn't work for us.
Right.
Being the first game of bowl season works for us. And so the only way to accomplish that was we had to move up a week.
Yeah. So I totally get it, because a lot of people they ask that because, like, how difficult was it? Because obviously, with the SWAC having their championship game, their team has 1 week to move forward and things like that. Now, listen, we've seen the last 2 years that hasn't mattered.
It never mattered.
Say it again. Say it again for the people.
It never mattered. What happened was the SWAC just started playing better.
I love it.
Look, it's a fact. I mean, you can look at, well, they got this amount of time off. We got no. What SWAC did was they started putting better product on the field. They brought in better coaches. Think about this. What's the longest tenured coach in the SWAC right now?
Eddie Robinson.
And how long has he been?
His 4th year.
The longest tenured coach is 4 years.
Yeah.
So the whole myth. I'm just gonna say this, and it's gonna make people. The whole foundation of the excuses being used for losing really didn't matter. What the real factor was the idea of making some changes and focusing on what was important. And once the Celebration Bowl became really important, then schools started to do the thing. Universities and football programs started to do the things that were necessary to make their program better.
Yes. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it, Mr. Grant. I love it. I love the transparency. I love the whole thing behind it. And like I said, this event, this has been such a great thing. Lastly, before I let you get out of here, talk about the MEAC SWAC kickoff and just that whole experience.
Well, again, another great property and asset that I'll say that is a wonderful platform for HBCUs to open the college football season. And think about that all eyes on national television for the opening of the season in prime time on 7:30 on a major network. There we are.
Yep.
So we're opening bowl season and we're opening all of college football season. And then we're closing the season also with our band of the year. But the idea that we have these platforms that give the broad level of exposure, but also demonstrates or gives our coaches and the coaching staffs and the players the ability to showcase what we actually have and what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is that mattering? The biggest challenge that I don't want to call it a challenge, the opportunity
Right.
that our HBCUs now have is what?
Yeah.
Maintaining the talent.
Yep.
Because it's showing you that we've always had good talent.
Yes, we have.
It was just never seen, or their ability to move wasn't there.
Right.
So now they're being solicited or whatever the case may be. But we have to lean on what we have value in. I think a lot of times, that's my opinion again. Is NIL a factor? Yes, but not as much to us as it is to someone else, because they have to pay to get us.
Yeah.
Because the things that we have that's you can't buy, and you can't buy culture. You can't buy the feeling of being at home. You can't buy being among your, people that you can connect with. You can't pay for that. So there's no amount of NIL money that anybody can ever give you to make you whole that way.
Yes. Yes.
HBCUs, that's what they do.
Yes.
Now, do you have to have something to make it comfortable for kids? Yes.
Yes, you do.
Give them a little something so that they can, go out to eat and pay a few bills and maybe send a little bit of something home. But does it have to be a lot of money? No, you sell what you have.
Right.
Because ultimately they're gonna come home anyway.
That's it. That's it. And so with everything, I just want to say, once again, this has just been such a pleasure to sit down with you again. I think that what you've been able to accomplish, it has definitely transformed not just the HBCU experience, it's transformed the Black experience. So, man, Mr. Grant, I thank you so very much.
You're very welcome.
And if there's anything that I can do continuing to move forward to help your vision and help your cause, definitely let me know, because I'm here for you.
Well, I'm going to let you know right now. Keep talking about it.
Will do.
Because, you guys kept the lights on for this game when no one was paying attention. You were the only ones talking about it. And so now that as it continues to evolve and become bigger, keep talking about it, because our desire is to make sure we ride with the ones who brought us.
That's it. I love it.
And you guys brought us, and we're staying, which is why I'm here with you right now.
Yes, sir. Well, that's why I can get on a plane and come from Ohio to come to Atlanta. And it's why I sit on these calls every Monday. Why I sit on my show every Wednesday and every Sunday, because everyone wants to get to Atlanta.
They do. Thank you.
Grant, the executive director of the Celebration Bowl. Great to talk to him again, and we're looking forward to see it again tomorrow, high noon, on ABC.
Thank you.
And stick with me. Coming up, Prairie View's players have just entered the room, so we're gonna sit down with some coming up here in just a minute. Stick with your boy.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with number 4 in your program, a guy who I thought really really could have been the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. And I mean that.
Yes, sir.
Trevor Randle, number 4 in your program, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Senior safety from Greenwood, Mississippi. All right, man. So I want to go back. I know everybody wants to go back 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to the very beginning of the season.
Okay.
Through training camp. When Coach was Atlanta. Talk about it.
Well, he instilled that in us day one. We're going to Atlanta. He put it on the blueprint. He put it on the PowerPoint. The first thing we seen on the PowerPoint was a Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So when he said that, everybody been locked in, been bought in ever since. But training camp, it was rough. But we had to figure it out. We came together, but that's when we came together as a team, though, in training camp.
Yeah, man. And so, I'm gonna pull up here. I'm gonna pull up just a little bit. I'm gonna get back to it. Here's the schedule, man, that you guys had to navigate yourselves through, man. So on here, as you look at the schedule, what was the breakthrough moment in a point of the season where you guys said, we ready to roll now?
Honestly, it was after the first loss to UTRGV.
Okay.
That's when we figured out who was bought in, who was not bought in. Like, that's when we found out what our team was after the first loss. But yeah, that was my feelings. I feel like that was the breakthrough.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And man, it was really interesting because with the way that whole thing transpired, losing that game against UTRGV, it was funny because I had told people on my show, I said, don't be fooled. I said, I know a lot of people hadn't heard of UTRGV. I said, but don't be fooled. I said, these guys can play football.
Yeah, that was a great program.
I know you guys, you had a slow start to that game.
Yeah.
They got out on you 17-0, but then you guys start making the waves and start coming back. So that's great, man. That you said it's a breakthrough game. So they said great season, Trevor, number 4. And look at, man, you got that purple and gold represent, man. So they showing you the love right now.
Yeah.
But man, listen, man, that defense that you guys have, man, and also just that defensive secondary. And you know what, man, I gotta let you shout your boys out, man. I'm getting to it. Let's see. Oh, that's the runners. That's the receivers. Let's see. That's the offensive line. Here we go. Right here. Here we go. Here's his group. There's that number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about your group, man. Your secondary, brother.
Okay, we got Cameron Mario. He played a free safety. Really tall guy. He pretty good at what he do. We got the connection to where we can just look at each other and it'll be a great connection. You'll understand what I'm trying to say. We got Eric Zachary. Probably should have been the best corner in the SWAC, but they put him on the second team for some reason. But lockdown corner. We got Trinity Ward at the strong safety position. He can cover anybody. He can cover anybody in the slot. I love that. I love my strong safety.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
And then talk about who's going to be in the game tomorrow that might not be on this screen, man, that we should know about in your secondary.
Who's going to be in that game so far? We're going to talk about Dae'Mon Hollywood. Dae'Mon Hollywood, he's been a special teams guy all year, but he's finally getting his chance to start in this game tomorrow. And he's going to be a big impact for us.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And so, man, I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit here for you, man. I'm gonna pull that down, and we'll pull that down. We'll get a little bit. I got something else I gotta show you, man. I got something else I gotta show you because I did a little bit of advanced research. I did a little bit of advanced analytics. It's loading itself up, but I'm gonna show you a matchup about how I put it together with your group against your opposition group.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let you tell the folks in Mr. Randle's point of view, what are some of the keys that goes with your group against their group as it's loading itself up. All right, there we go. So we're gonna move it forward and we're gonna get right to it. Yes, sir. So you see their receivers, man. So what about talk about their receiving group and their core, man? What do you guys know about them, and what did you guys, prepare for, that you can't say, brother? Go ahead.
They throw the ball a lot. They have a pretty good receiver group. I really say that. But we are the number one passing defense for a reason. And so we're just going to go out and show them that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that other side, man, like, you look across the board, they do it as a group approach, right? So that's something that I know you guys are definitely going to be prepared for, obviously. So that's good, man. I'm glad you brought that up. So now, as we talk about just you yourself, man, this is your last game tomorrow. Last ride. You've been at this stuff, man, since you was probably a little boy, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was the first football team you ever played for?
The first football team I ever played was my elementary school, W.C. Williams Elementary School. I started playing football actually later than normal. Usually people start around 6. I started in 4th grade. So what is that, about 9, 10? Anyways, but that was my first football team I ever played for. I started as a running back, and I played running back all the way up until my second game of my freshman year of high school. And my coach told me to switch positions, and probably was the best thing I ever done.
Yeah, so playing safety, you feel like that was the move.
That was the move. That was definitely the move.
Well, what I've told people about you all season, man, even down the stretch. I was actually on a Jackson State alums first show, and this was before the SWAC championship game. And I said, listen, number 4, Travor Randle, man. I said, this is an outstanding football player. And it's out there. I said, this is an outstanding football player. People said, well, how can their leading tackler be a safety? But see, the thing that folks that don't know football,
right?
You don't just cover receivers, brother.
Exactly.
You get your nose dirty in the run game, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Talk about it, man.
So from day one, my position is called jet. So from day one, when I got recruited here, my defensive coordinator told me that the jet is always the person that's gonna end up being a all-conference player, all-SWAC player, or whatever. And he told me that he's like, I just got to live up to it. And so I did. And I appreciate my coaches for that, giving me the chance to do that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so, like I said, man, last game tomorrow for you. But how gratifying, though, man, when you think about that you get to finish it in the mecca of HBCU football tomorrow.
It's really a blessing. I've been manifesting this for a long time because, so I was like, if December is going to be my month, because it started off with my birthday, and then I graduated with my master's today.
Oh, congratulations, brother.
I graduated with my master's today, and so we won the SWAC championship last week, and we're going to win tomorrow.
Hey, well, you heard the man. This is Travor Randle, man. I've had a great time sitting down with this young man, number 4 in your program. He's a safety. He's going to be all over the field tomorrow wearing that purple and gold. Yes, Travor Randle, good luck to you, my brother.
Appreciate you.
And not just good luck tomorrow, but best of luck to you in your future, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
as you going some places.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we'll be back here in a minute. We got more Prairie View Panthers coming on the airwaves. Unmuted. There we go. We unmuted. All right, I'm here with the OC of Prairie View A&M Museum, Chris Buckner, man. So, Chris, man, congrats, first of all, again, man, on making it here. But also, man, you guys, you traveled a nice path, man. You came from, your last stop was Sam Houston.
Yes, sir.
And so now now that you come from Sam Houston, man, to Prairie View, just talk about. I only want to take you back just your previous stop. So, how did you get linked up with your head coach, man?
Well, I've been knowing Coach Jackson for several years. We kind of got a lot of friends in the same circle. Had an opportunity to talk with him about a few of my players, and we just stayed in touch. And, you know, he'd always told me he wanted to give me an opportunity, man, and the opportunity just presented itself. I've been wanting to call plays for a while. Did it, a few years back at the small Division II school in New Mexico called Western New Mexico University, and we got an opportunity to see what we were doing in the passing game. We had one of the top passing offenses in the nation in Division II, and he likes the air raid. He always talks about the different strands of it, and me playing for Howell Mummy back in the day. It just made a lot of sense for him and me, and I'm forever thankful for him for this opportunity.
That's awesome, man. And so here's a little bit of the group. So I'll bring here before you, man. These are your run. This is your rushing attack. I got your QB1 in there too. But as everybody that watched that game last week, QB1 ran that thing 24 times for over 100 yards. Absolutely. Talk about your running backs, man, and how you guys utilize them in your offense, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chase Beeman is a kid I actually recruited when I was at Sam Houston State. I ended up leaving and going to Texas State his senior year, coaching receivers. So we kind of parted ways and didn't have a lot of conversation. So I actually saw him come to Prairie View, so it was ironic that I got here. I knew about him, knew his skill set. I'm from the DFW. He's out there in Terrell, Texas, and playing some really good ball out there. And I knew what he could provide for us offensively, and saw that what he did as a redshirt freshman, running the football at 6 yards per carry. And I was like, man, this dude's gonna be special. He had a great spring for us, had a great fall camp, and obviously you see the numbers for him right here. He's explosive at the point of contact and get to the second level. Excited to see him, continue to mature as a player, but I was very fired up. Love him to death, and he knows that. Lamaje is a guy that, played really good high school football, was at Campbell, then obviously came over here with the last coaching staff. He just needed a really good opportunity. He just needed to be around people that can, teach him what we needed to teach him, and, put him in successful situations. And, right now, he was a guy that didn't win more than 6 games in his entire college career, and we told him we can get that done for him, and we did that. Shad, man, I can't say enough about Shad, man, his personality. He's a phenomenal kid with a phenomenal family. Obviously, he was highly recruited out of high school, went to Iowa first, finished up at Charlotte. He's one of the leading rushers in Charlotte history. He kind of got in late with us and started to come on late for us, man. I told him out the gate, I was like, man, you're a slasher. Just stay humble. And he did, and he's made a ton of plays for us, man. I'm fired up. And obviously, Cam Peters, man, he's a journeyman, man. And we actually recruited him at Sam Houston. We ended up going in a different direction, but I was fired up to see him get the opportunity, being a Missouri City, Texas kid, being able to play at home in front of his family, friends, teammates, all those things, man. And he's got a lot of, family that are alum of PV and stuff like that. And so he's a kid that just needed to continue to grow. You wish you had him for another year. He was a career 50% completion guy. We got him up to 63% completion, man. Just teaching him the game, his reads, knowing where he needs to have his eyes, knowing when the journey is over and he needs to take off and just run. And then we knew in that game last week, Coach T.C. Taylor did a really, really good job, man, with that defense, the defensive line in particular. We knew we were going to have to add the quarterback to the run game, man. We knew we were going to have to do some +1 runs. Didn't want to do 24 times, man. I was hoping for about 10 to 12, but it took what it took, man, to get that done, man. And obviously what we did in year one with this offense, we go up against the best defense in the conference, one of the top 5 defenses in the country.
Every single day, right?
And so these guys will continue to progress and get better.
Yeah, man. And like I said, boy Blue said, looking to get another championship ring. That Sam Houston run was insane.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. You was there during the time, man.
Absolutely.
All right, so now you get into your receiver. Oh, sorry. Now we get into our receiver group.
Yeah.
Man.
What a phenomenal group, man. What a talented group of guys. I mean, I can't say enough about JyZiah Rockwell. I recruited JyZiah Rockwell to Sam Houston and recruited a bunch of kids in there, man. And he was, he started for us in 2023. We had a bunch of injuries, and so he kind of got an opportunity to play young. In 24, we got a talented room, and, he was kind of a role player. And I was shocked when he hit the portal. I was blown away. I was like, this kid can be good. He can be an FBS group of 5 receiver And so he texted me right away when he hit the portal, and I said, "You're in, man. We got you. You don't have to worry about anything." And I knew what he was, man. Possession target receiver. He blocks out defenders, catches the ball really well, very strong hands. And he's starting to do stuff with the ball in his hands right now. And so him developing his game and growing into a guy that can catch a slant, a glance, a tunnel screen, and get positive yards, it raises his ceiling and what we can do for him so much. Rodney Ojo, we didn't know anything about him. He was a kid that just did everything we told him to do. We got after him because I thought he was kind of lethargic, and that's just his personality. That's just who he is, just kind of a laid-back, kind of laissez-faire guy. But he made some really meaningful catches in 2024 that got him put in a position to be where he is today. Andre Dennis, man, he's a stud, man, really, really talented, can do everything. He's a guy that'll come to me straight up and say, "Coach Buck, get me the ball." And I can't do anything but appreciate a guy like that. So he's a guy that not only we can throw the ball to him, but we can hand it off to him as well. You see he had a 51-yard touchdown against Mississippi Valley, and it was as clean as all get out, man. He made a few people miss. Very special kid, man. Great personality, very infectious. He can laugh and he can joke. He can be serious, and he competes his tail off, man. Every day in practice, him and Eric Zachary, they get after each other, man, and it makes it so much better. We always talk about competing, getting each other better, iron sharpen iron, and he's one of those guys. He's going to sharpen the DBs. DB's going to sharpen them. They got a mutual respect for one another, and you can see where he's come and grown over the last 5 to 6 weeks, man. And I'm excited to see him finish off his career the right way. Trevon Jones, what a talented tight end. He actually played receiver in high school. Then he gained some weight and ended up moving into the tight end position. We knew we had something special in him before we even got him on campus. Coach Jackson and his staff over at Valdosta recruited him. He ended up going to Tennessee Chat and ended up at Northwestern State. And so once he hit the portal, we knew we needed to get him, and he came, and he's been a big part of what we did offensively. He's an offensive captain, became a captain in my mind a couple weeks in, man. He just kind of brought the group together. I mean, the camaraderie came through with him, and I'm excited and fired up. I think this is the most statistically he's done in his college career as well. And I'm big on making sure all of our guys touch the ball early and often.
Yeah, man.
Cam Bonner. Cam Bonner is a local kid out there in Houston. Was at Baylor for 4 years and just really didn't get an opportunity. But I knew the offensive coordinator there, Jake Spavital, because I worked with him at Texas State. Man, he's a kid that's got speed, strong hands, runs really good routes. Again, another kid you wish you had for another year, a guy that didn't play a lot of football too. To me, he's like a freshman because he really hadn't played a lot of football. He hadn't really had a lot of targets, a lot of opportunities. He played, the core 4 special teams unit, but getting him touches and getting him opportunities, whether it was throwing him the ball quick down the field or handing it off to him, it's been big for him. And he scored his first college touchdown against Grambling State.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize that. We were like, wow, this kid
first time
just scored his first touchdown, man. And so to be able to affect his life in that way, get him a championship before he finishes up, it's a blessing. His mom, his grandma, phenomenal people. They know the sport. They love football. They're always around. They want to be involved.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll get you out of here on this, man. Just everything that we talked about with your offense, man. So this South Carolina State team that you guys are going up against, I've talked a lot about, their front, and, they've got a guy who's got 9.5 sacks. They've got a collection of guys. They rotate a lot of guys on their defensive line. Their linebackers are active. And, they also thing with their secondary, man, those guys are sneaky when they put them in blitz packages. Like Quantre Harry, 24, will come off that edge.
Yes, he will.
Shamari, number 1, he'll come off the edge
That's
real quick. So when you guys talk about this matchup tomorrow, man, what are some of the keys that you see for your offense to be able to help you guys get to the finish line?
Well, first and foremost, Coach Berry has done a phenomenal job with the team. That defense is constructed very well. They're very fast and twitchy up front. Like you said, number 11's got double-digit sacks. Number 0, I think, is the best of them. That interior D-line, him and number 7, they're phenomenal, man. They shoot gats well. When they want to reduce the front, slant, and things of that nature, they do a phenomenal job. The key for us in this game is to, 1, not turn over the football, and 2, we got to do a great job on 3rd and medium and 3rd and 1 to 3. We weren't great in 3rd and short last week, and that's something we emphasize a lot. But what I was proud of our guys of last week was converting third and long. So we get in those third and long situations. We got to continue to do the same thing. You know, we won the time of possession. We had 86 snaps. Jackson had 44. If we could play a game like that this weekend, I feel really confident in the Panthers.
Yeah, because you guys had 17 more minutes in time of possession, 10 for 21 on third downs. I mean, man, it was just exciting, man. And I tell you, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, you know, really get down tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And also, man, it's just been a pleasure to sit with you, talk to you about your offense, and just talk about you, man. So Chris Buckner, man, you see this guy, he's the OC. As soon as he leaves this room, he going right back into getting the mode ready.
You know it.
Chris Buckner.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the ride.
Absolutely. Go Panthers.
And more with Wayne Cartwright in a minute. And now you guys see who's with me. We got none other than the head coach of Prairie View A&M, Atlanta.
Yeah.
You are here.
Yep.
Who'd have thunk it, man?
Us.
Who'd have think it?
Us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
You guys, man. So listen, you got so much going on, and I gotta put this stuff up here on the screen, man. You know, I can't ready for you. I ain't ready for you, coach. So you came on my show back in, I think it was April, and we talked about the dog mentality, determination,
Discipline, obedience, and grit.
discipline, obedience, and grit. All of the dog mentality. We talk about it costs what it costs. You guys paid them prices. Atlanta. People thought it was a joke.
Yep.
They laughed at it on social media.
They did.
Guess what? He's here. You're not. Also, shout out to Miss Rector.
Yeah.
That was one of the sound bites of the year, man. I don't play no games.
We don't play games.
We don't play no games. But also my other one, happy homecoming. Yeah, man. So just with all of these different things, man, that you've had, just in the entire thing, I've also got one more thing for you. This is what I call the Tremaine Jackson vision, man. First year Division I head coach. 73 incoming transfers, 34 returning players on my Frank Sinatra.
My way.
Yep, my way. You said, let's do this my way.
Yeah.
And all that is equated to, man, the first SWAC title since 2009.
Yeah.
So, man, you know, I asked that loaded question to you Monday. It was crazy. I didn't even think that the question I asked you Monday would actually be the lead soundbite for the whole media session that you had. But as loaded as it was legit and it's real.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that on your Frank Sinatra, doing it my way, right? You talked about how it was at Valdosta, just going through. You talked a little bit with me in July about when you was at Colorado Mesa. You said we knocking all the pitches off the wall.
Absolutely.
We just gonna start it all over. But doing it your way, how much of that now with that confidence? How much of that confidence, man? How much has that gone into your players?
I think not just that, but the way we go about raising our young people in our program, I think they understand it. I think it lets them know that with God, anything is possible. We talk a lot about that. You know, people think that we just say dog to say dog, but when you turn dog around, it spells God. And so he's in the center of it all. This is a calling, not a job. I don't need the money. Man, we thrive off of growing young people. And I think people think it's cocky, but I just don't think they have anything to believe in. We got 100 young men to believe in. We got some young ladies around the program that are in support staff roles that they've bought into the way that we do things. We're changing young people's lives.
Yes, sir.
And that's important to us. And we're just using football to do it. So my bad if you can't use your insurance job to change no lives. My bad if you're a school teacher and you mad at the
refrigerator in the break room. That's not my issue. God sent us to do something, and we know who sent us, and we know why He sent us, and we're here to do that job. And my grandma used to say He sent us on assignment, and so we're gonna complete the assignment. We feel like we're off to a good start, but we're not operating at 100%. We're operating at about 60 to 65% of our whole program. So the future's bright. Our young people in our program really bought into it, and they made a decision. And when the collective makes a decision, then you see how far we can go.
Yeah, man. And I sat down with AD Goff earlier. And when we were sitting down and we were talking earlier, he talked about just what he saw in you. And the funny thing was, he said that when they were playing FAMU for homecoming, their homecoming, there were no hotels. They stayed in Valdosta.
Yep.
Man, talk about that, man, from your perspective, though.
I knew they were in Valdosta because there was a lot more band people around than what normally is in Valdosta. So that's how we figured that out. We've had some coaches on the past staffs here, and so we were able to link up, man. When he told me that story, that's how I felt like that's how I knew it was confirmation for me that I was sent. There was a picture of me on a Coke sign in a place that he went, and he didn't know Valdosta, Georgia had a black football coach.
He said that.
And so he was able to see that and see I was from Houston and things of that nature. And it's funny how things work. You never really know who's watching. You never know who knows what you're doing. And we just happened to be on a good run there and was able to follow it up with another one. And now here, a year later from that, we sit here at the Celebration Bowl, he and I together. And so really appreciative of AD Goff for giving me an opportunity. There was really no reason for him to do so, to be quite honest. People make this big deal about Division I versus Division II. I know better, but not a lot of people know better. And sometimes administrators don't know, but he knew. And so he gave us an opportunity, and he's given us the things that we need in order to be successful.
Yes, sir.
We're excited.
Sir. And for me, obviously, you've watched my show. You see how I analyze you guys. I keep it straight down the middle. Game always recognized game.
Yeah.
You guys came to the Hill in A&M, and you spanked my boys 48-5. But you know what I said, though? When I told folks about that 48-5, I said the thing that's so crazy is, I said these guys haven't even operated at their full capacity yet. That was before I even asked you on that next Monday about you.
Yeah.
You guys haven't operated at your full capacity yet.
Yep.
So with all this saying, man, now that you're here tomorrow and you're getting ready to take that field on the biggest stage yet for your team, man, just in all the words that you can say it, like for real, man, how does all this feel? How does all this look? How does it taste? How does it smell?
Yeah, first of all, we're grateful. We're grateful to be here, grateful to be up, moving around, having all the function of our limbs. So we're extremely grateful. But I haven't really sat back and thought about the moment because for us, it's about taking care of what's in front of us. So, man, I was so worried about this morning's walkthrough, I almost forgot I had to do this at 3. And so we live that way. That's how we go about our business. And I told our players back in July when we started, if we wake up December 14th with a trophy on side of us, we got a really good football team. If we don't, we got to get back to the drawing board. And that's just how they're wired. That's how they're built. That's how we're built. But I do know we have something. We have something, or else we wouldn't be sitting here.
That's it.
And so we're still searching for 64 minutes. Our team has been getting better and better as the time has went. But now we got to be at our best.
Yeah.
There is no tomorrow. We got 34 seniors in the room that this is their last time playing college football.
Yes, sir.
And so we got to be ready to go all out. I got to be at my best as a coach tomorrow. Our staff got to be at its best. We're looking for everybody's best tomorrow. And then afterwards, we'll soak it all in and see what happens.
Last question. Has the sweet tea been sweet here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't normally have it till Friday night dinner, so we'll find out in a little bit.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is my guy, man. I've been a big fan of this guy from the very beginning. Listen, he's always great with his time. I appreciate you all the time,
Appreciate
man.
you, bro.
And we're gonna talk more in the off season and beyond.
Yes, sir.
For real.
I appreciate
Coach
it.
Tremaine Jackson looking to get it done here in the A tomorrow. More with Wild Wayne coming up. You see who it is. You know who it is. Number 11 in your program, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. JyZiah Rockwell has joined the ride with Wild Wayne Cartwright. 214 pounds, 68 receptions, 1,083 yards.
1,083 yards.
1,083 yards. The only SWAC receiver to cross the 1,000-yard threshold this season.
Yes, sir.
Your best game was against my team, man.
Well, Alabama A&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Crazy stat game. What was it? I think it was, 6 receptions, 183 yards.
183 yards.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns.
That's game. That's like Madden stats right there.
Hey, man, listen, bruh. When I was talking to your OC, man, he talked about, the connection that you and him have about, from Sam Houston and how you just came through that portal, man. And immediately, man, you just paid some big dividends. So talk about the Sam Houston experience leading to now, man.
Okay. With Sam Houston, I've been with Coach Buck for like three years now. So like as soon as I hit the portal, I knew to instantly hit up Coach Buck. I knew he was gonna mess with me. And it's like from day one, he told me like it was really up to me. Like for me to come into the SWAC, it was always gonna be up to me to like just come up here and just ball out. Like the SWAC just plays so much man, and it was always gonna just, if I really wanted to be a 1,000-yard receiver, it's gonna be up to me, and it was like destined to just happen.
Yeah. So I know obviously you put that stuff on your vision board because that's what receivers do.
Yes, sir.
Receivers want to get 1,000 yards. Receivers want to get in the box. They want to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? But to actually do it, that's a whole nother
It's a whole
thing,
different
man.
thing. It's still crazy to me. Like, and I give all praise to God because like I wouldn't be in this position without him. To think that like last year, into the portal, like I was like scared where it's like, damn, I ain't even gonna play football anymore. And it's like to come to a winning program and be a part of the reason why they're winning. It's like I give all praises to God. Like I wouldn't be here without that.
Yeah, and it's funny because I just sat down with your head coach, man. And, him and I, we've talked now 3 times, on these airwaves. And the funny thing that he talked about was he said, wow, Wayne, he said, I see your analytics. He said, I actually use them in the coaches meeting. So one thing I talked about from you last week, now we go back last week.
Okay.
I said in my exhaustive preview, I said JyZiah Rockwell, I said he's a matchup issue. I said if you ain't ready, I said he's a very physical receiver. So where do you get those physical traits, man, as a receiver, man?
Honestly, it's just kind of just how I've been. Like that's who I had to be. Like being 6'3" and a 210, 215 receiver. It's like it's kind of just built in me to be a physical, big body receiver. It's like I might not just be your fastest, but it's like I can still run by people, and it's like I'm gonna use my body to get open.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, so let's go a little bit further back, man.
Okay.
So you've got another year, obviously, but
yes, sir. Others
are gonna be playing their last game tomorrow. But the thing I want to mention, man, for you, a lot of this game, it goes back to your origins, your roots. What was the first football team you ever played for?
My first football team I ever played for was probably Little League called North Texas. Like North Texas Express. That's what it was.
Yeah. What position were you playing? Receiver or something else?
I was really like a guy that just played every position. They threw me at QB. They threw me at like linebacker just to make the play. Like I was just a ball. Like I needed to be around the ball. So that's how that was.
I hear you, bro. I receive it. So, man, just like talk about just like let's get serious and we'll talk about the game tomorrow, right? Okay. Obviously, you guys know about their secondary.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I have it. Yep. I got it right here. That's you,
Mhm.
and that's the rest of your crew, and that's their secondary.
Mhm.
So what do you know just in the short time you guys have been able to prepare and just look at what do you know about their secondary? What do you feel about it?
This is definitely going to be one of the better secondaries that we'll be matched up against. Number 12 in all conference, first team cornerback. Looks pretty good. I mean, I know he likes to play. They play heavy press. They like to jump jam, and it's like I definitely feel like our group is. I'll take our group up there any day of the week, and it's like all we got. I believe that all we got to do is just win the one-on-one battles, which we're gonna get plenty of opportunities to go down the field and catch the ball, and I believe that our group would be the group to really just come down with it and just secure the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And so the rest of your guys there, man, what have these guys meant to you in your development, man? What are your guys? I talk about your guys.
These guys, like, these are gonna be like my lifelong, like, best friends. Like, this group, like, to come in here with the new, like, the first year and to like create a bond with these receivers, that like it just means so much to me. Like how close I've gotten to them and how much they push me to be better. Like I wouldn't be the player that I am without them for sure.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So family. All right, be for real, man. How many people you got in attendance tomorrow coming to see you play?
At the game, not really any of my family gonna be able to make it, but I know they're all gonna be watching, supporting me. They love me. Like I'm a big family guy, so it's like I'm really close to my family. I know they're gonna be supporting, cheering us on, but they couldn't make it out here into Atlanta.
I hear you. I hear you. So last week, man, as you guys are celebrating, and man, Wild Wayne, he got you covered, man. This is you guys last week. In Mr. Rockwell's best fashion, man. Talk about the emotions of this moment right here.
Too, it's like you can't even explain it. Like to really go, for me to go back to back because last year to go back to back. Last year I won 10 games. So for this year to go win 10 games again, like it was just unreal to me. Like that moment, like I'll always cherish and remember this moment. And it's like we'll always like this group will go down in history, and it's like we'll always be remembered to be the ones that won the SWAC championship. Like,
you see, man, you see the guy right there holding up the 10.
yeah,
isn't that awesome right there?
It's awesome.
What that means right there?
That means a lot. Like not a lot of college teams are actually going out there and winning 10 games. To win 10 games, that means a lot to a program.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you see the guy up there with the cowboy hat. I talked to him earlier, man. You gotta love that cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But lastly, man, I'll get you out of here on this. Man. With another year to go, where do you see your career moving ahead, man?
I see this PV team with a lot of just seniors graduating and stuff like that. Going to have to get another probably 30, 40 players out of the portal. It's just I see me being one of the returners. It's like I feel like I'm gonna have to take that role into like getting them back like on the blueprint, getting them back on the standard, like leading this team where it's like we can come back here and do it back to back. And it's like I'm ready to take that role to just be one of the like leaders that like shows everyone that like how it's done, how to get it done, and it's like where it's gonna lead us to go.
Yeah, well, on the immediate, man, tomorrow at high noon Eastern.
Yes, sir.
Hitting that field, number 11 in purple and gold, rolling out there with his Panthers.
Yes, sir.
JyZiah Rockwell, thank you for taking the ride with Wild Wayne, man.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you tomorrow.
Appreciate you.
And moving forward.
Yes, sir.
JyZiah Rockwell, everybody. We'll be back with more here in a moment. And we are back. Come on, slide a little closer here, Coach.
Here we go.
We're right here with co-defensive coordinator Brandon Andersen. Welcome to the ride, man. Welcome in. And once again, as I've been saying to everybody, congrats, man, for reaching this point.
Thank you.
All right, so you've been with Coach Jackson for a minute, man.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your relationship with him and just how it started and all that good stuff for us.
Sure. So it started in 2013 at the University of Sioux Falls. I was a graduate assistant. He was brought in as a defensive line coach, and after a year, he ended up getting promoted to defensive coordinator, and I got promoted to full-time at linebackers, and spent 3 years together in the system. He kind of taught me the system. Became good friends, and when he got his chance to become a head coach in 2020, he asked me if I wanted to be the defensive coordinator. Been with him ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And that continuity, man, that's everything. So, as a co-defensive coordinator, I know you work with Trent early.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your relationship with you and him, man.
Well, we are me and Trent are polar opposites, but that's what I think, that's the beauty, and that's what makes it work. He's more of a high emotion, high energy type of guy. I'm more of just a processor and really kind of analytical. So us together, we work really well together. I coach from the box, and not every, especially defensive coordinators, I think most are on the field. For me, my biggest strength is the ability to be able to see. And for him, he does such a good job of managing the player emotions. And so he's down on the field and just kind of my right-hand man down there, and it works really well together.
Yeah, so what I got for you, we'll start looking at some of your defensive group, because I want you to kind of just talk about these guys, man. Say some things about each guy. Big Al Sparks, man. Start with him.
So Olajuwon, he was with us at Valdosta State. Actually was an offensive lineman when we got him at Valdosta State, and we switched him over to nose, and just a selfless player, run stuffer, really kind of his deal. Great human being. Just a joy to be around, and really proud of how far he's come. He had health issues early on in his career and really turned a lot of that around. And program first guy, great kid, going to be an asset. Whatever he decides to do in life after this, he will be an asset to whoever he's with.
Yeah, and then the guy whose name was called a lot last week, Daryl Starling, 25.
Yeah, a joy to be around. Again, you're going to hear me say a lot of that with these guys. They're a great group of kids, first of all. But Daryl, I can't even hardly call him a kid. Last year, he was a substitute teacher in the spring with special ed down back home in Pelham, Georgia, which, not too far from here. It's a little bit further south, but great kid, smart. Can we move him around a good amount and ask him to do a lot? But great tackler in space, but just wired the right way. Tough kid, plays hard, plays the game the right way, and he's kind of goofy, but he's fun to be around. Another one, fun to be around.
Yeah, and someone who's across this room, Sterling Roberts, man.
Yeah, Sterling. Everybody calls him Boat. Sterling really helped change the trajectory of my entire career, honestly. He was within that class that we brought in 2023 at Valdosta State. The number one thing I'll say about him, the culture within the defense means everything to him. So he does not let anybody mess with that. This is how it's done. This is how we do it. Buy in or get out type of a thing.
Yeah.
Tough kid, does everything you ask of him. He's the guy for us that has the green dot, that, the ability to speak to. He commands all of it, honestly. He's the signal caller.
Yeah. Kennedy Parker, man.
Yeah, so KP was within that same recruiting class as Sterling Roberts at Valdosta State, another one that just totally changed everything for us at Valdosta, and obviously it's helped us change things around here. Elite athlete, really, really twitchy, good job pass rushing off the edge, good run fitter, good in pass. He does all that stuff really well. you know, if you're not around him every day, he's actually pretty quiet. But, you know, once he opens up, he is a character as well. They're all characters, honestly. But probably might be the hardest practicing player I've ever been around.
That's high praise, man. That's great. And then I forgot to call this young man out when I did my preview for the SWAC title, but I definitely got Malik Muthaki right now.
Yes, sir. Malik, you know, came in this summer, has faced so much adversity at the beginning of the year. You know, just some off-field stuff with his family. Just unbelievable character kid. Very quiet. You will not hear him speak unless he's spoken to. But earn the respect of everybody by the way he works. Tough kid. Again, kind of move him around a decent amount. Just a grade A human. I mean, I think he might be a 4.0. I mean, just elite character kid. Going to be awesome in, you know, obviously football doesn't keep going for him. He will be awesome at whatever he decides to do. But great kid. Great kid.
Yeah, and then you got the secondary group, man. I talked to Trevor Randle earlier. Like I already said, I thought the kid could have been defensive player of the year because of everything he does.
So they call him Travor. Travor is the ultimate chess piece. He came in our off-season recruiting class, so he got in January. That was huge for us. You know, he initially started off at strong safety, but our first middle safety got hurt on the opening kickoff this year. So he moved into that middle safety spot and took it over and hasn't let it go since then. Very smart, understands game plans. He gets moved around more than anybody. Plays all over the place and really handles it well from an IQ standpoint, but plays hard.
I love how you said that because as I described this guy to my viewers, man, I said people look at the tackles and they say, well, how does the safety lead? I said, this dude gets his nose dirty in run defense too.
Right. So a lot of our design defensively, you know, it's not really a secret anymore. That middle safety is going to make a lot of tackles in what we do. You know, you're almost part linebacker, part safety. And he does a really good job of that, but he can do more than just tackle. Yeah, I mean, he can cover. He does all of that really well. So
and then talk about Cam Mayo and then Eric Zachary and Trinity Ward.
So
man.
Cam Mayo, again, a guy that just battled a lot of adversity. We didn't think that he was going to become what he did. You know, was playing corner in the spring. Moved him to safety and really made his way onto the field probably week 3 or week 4 just because he communicates so well. He's smart, very intelligent, and the Energizer Bunny. Eric Zachary, you know, for my money, to me was the best corner in the SWAC this year. Obviously, I'm going to go with my guy always. We asked him to play an awful lot of man-to-man, and he has done that. And at a certain point, I know tomorrow we got to prove it. We got a lot to prove tomorrow, but people stopped throwing at him at a certain point during the season. You could see it. But a character, a character. He's funny, goofy, but a great kid, super talented, one of the most talented kids I've ever coached. And then Trinity Ward, kind of another one of those guys. He plays safety, but we ask him to cover a lot, whether it's in the slot or just we ask him a lot in coverage. And then but he, really since probably, again, about week 3, week 4 has been steady and really, really solid for us.
I got to tell you, Coach Andersen, this is some really, really good stuff, man. And like you said right here in the comment, it said you got an eye for talent. And, man, I tell you something, man. I've been around this game a long time, and I've talked to a lot of coaches and done this stuff for a while. I got to tell you, man, this is some of the real good stuff that you just shared. And I tell you, man, coming from coaching in the box, I know I've talked to other coaches who spend time in the box and say it can sometimes be a lonely place. But for you, it sounds like it's a sanctuary.
It is, but you have to have people around you that you trust. And my staff, I think, is second to none defensively. And they allow me to be able to do that. So it's kudos to my staff for that.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate you very much for sitting down with me. And he's Brandon Andersen, coach, defensive coordinator. looking to get that championship. Thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
It's
it.
great times. All right, Wild Wayne will be back with QB1 here in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with QB1 of the Prairie View Panthers, Cam Peters. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, listen, you were with the team last year. You played a lot last year. Talk about, man, just the difference from one year to the next, man.
I definitely say the instillment of trust from the coaches and definitely the players. Definitely having that feeling around you that you know we got your back. And definitely the type of game plan, the type of scheme that we run obviously helps me a lot. And that's really what's been the difference between the 2 years. That and also having a blueprint of things, having a direction of things, having that team, having that love, and actually doing the little things right. So
I hear that, man. Now, one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk to you about, and see you getting the love here, Big Cam. Congrats, QB number 4. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and y'all keep the comments going. Make sure y'all hit the like button, like the stream, right? So one of the things I wanted to make sure I asked you today. You started the season, obviously, in that was one of the craziest games of the year, man. That game where you guys pulled it out there at the very last play. Man, you know what? Before I ask that question, let's talk about that last play to Rodney Ojo, man. Just what you see, just talk about it, man. Nobody's ever really asked you to describe it like this publicly, right?
Nah.
Okay, so here you go.
I say 2 or 3 plays before that we go and score. We have to score twice actually. So there was a penalty. We come back, timeout. I think TSU called a timeout. We go to the sideline. Coach asking, "What do I like?" And I was like, "Let's go empty here." So we go out there. We go empties, kind of like our 4 verts. So honestly, I think TSU was in a bad call. They weren't expecting it. The guy that was supposed to be blitzing ended up trying to cover Ojo, but he ended up running past the linebacker. And honestly, so me and Ojo had that connection, the back shoulder, and he just beat him across the field. And
I remember, man, I was sitting there Labor Day weekend. It was real late because that game, I live in Ohio, so I'm an hour behind y'all, and y'all had that weather delay forever. So, man, y'all had a whole lot of stuff going on with that game. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm paused, and I'm like, what just happened? And I'm looking at Coach Jackson on the sideline. He's looking like, what just happened?
Like we went like 90-something yards to go do that. So it's crazy.
And it's crazy. Like, man, they lost a receiver in coverage when y'all were backed up. I remember it. I remember it. It was
it started off with a penalty.
Holding.
So it started off with a holding, incomplete. We completed a couple passes, and then we went tempo. And we did our kind of like our switch vert whirl, and they left the guy up the sideline.
Up the sideline, got to about midfield. Then you threw a swing pass to Bingman. And he got busy. That was, and then you had the 15-yard penalty that backed y'all up from the 2 to the 17. So you threw on 4th down and goal from the 17, bro. That
just goes to show you how our team is, the resilience and the perseverance that we've been through. And that we've shown, it just goes to show.
And somebody said, man, he got a memory like LeBron James. He remembers the details. Listen, man, that's what makes this platform what it is. I know these details. Now let's go. Here, moving forward. With that game from where it started, man, and you proceed forward. I asked Trevor Randle earlier. I said, what was the turning point on your season? He said he thought it was when you guys lost to UT Rio Grande Valley. What was the turning point of the season for you, man?
I say around that time too. A little bit kind of after Rice, we kind of made a decision that as a collective that we were going to be better. We were going to be better than that, and that we weren't just going to go out there and give out little kids play. We're going to go out there and go win and execute everything the coaches tell us to do. I'm just really proud of this team, man. The things that we've been through, things that we're still going through, and to be on this type of stage right now is a blessing, and I'm just so proud of our guys.
Yeah, man. And so last week, you run the ball 24 times. I asked Coach Buck. He said we didn't plan for him to run 24 times. He said we didn't plan to run 24 times, man.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to watch this back, you'll see what he said.
Yeah.
When he said we didn't plan for him to run 24 times, but you did, and it was effective, and you gained over 100 yards. You were actually just the second player all year to gain 100 yards rushing against Jackson State.
Yeah.
The other guy was Trey Holly.
That's some running back.
That's some running back, isn't he?
That's some running back.
That's
yeah.
a running back.
Yeah.
But now you guys got some running backs as well, man.
Oh yeah, we got some dogs.
Talk about your dogs, man. You guys, Lamaje and Cam, Bingham, and also, man, Shadrick too, bro.
Yeah,
coming on. Talk about your guys, man.
Actually, it's those guys' birthday today. Chase Bingman and Lamaje McDowell.
Chase Bingman.
So happy birthdays in the chat for them. Man, we got some great backs, dog. Like co-freshman of the year, Chase Bingman. He's always been that type of shifty guy, make a guy miss, long run guy. Those guys just do everything right. They play so hard. Like Shad came out of nowhere. He came like during the season a little bit. Great guy, great back. Those guys just bring a whole lot of different stuff to the table. And Lamaje's been a leader ever since day one. Real good guy. And I'm just happy to have those guys, be in the backfield with those guys. And nobody really talks about how running backs protect the quarterback, but those guys right there, they do it.
Yeah, and then I'm talking about your receiving group.
Yeah.
I sat down with JyZiah, man, and he talked about just all you guys. Buck talked about all you guys. Man, it's got to be pretty good, a good security blanket when you can throw to some reliable receivers, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we definitely have the best receivers in the SWAC. That's what I will say. We have the best receivers in the SWAC, and their work ethic is second to none. So I'm happy to see those guys flourish, and happy to see those guys do see what they do for the rest of their careers. Yep.
But one group that didn't get talked about that I held just for you.
Yeah, my guys.
Talk about your boys to everybody.
It starts with Pedro. Pedro's the commander-in-chief. Everything runs through Pedro. I'm so proud of Pedro. Even from last year, it's just things that we've been through together. It just makes our bond just a little bit better. Caden Bowers as well. We was here last year together. And those guys, just the step that we all just took together and to be in this place together, these goals that we set for each other, it's just amazing. And those two guys right there, Mawali and Cal, my blind side Cal, he keeps me upright. Me and him got a special connection. Me and Mawali all these guys have special connections. Ty Brown, great guys, selfless leaders. And I'm just so proud of those guys.
Yeah, I talk about Big Cal McMillan, man.
Yeah.
That's the vet.
Yep.
He's been through all the wars. He's been with the program a minute.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a good group, man.
Hey, best O-line in the SWAC.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Talk about how important it is for these boys tomorrow for you.
No, those guys know how important it is, but those guys also know it's another game, and they've been doing it all year. So what is it to do in one more game?
Absolutely. And so, man, it brings you down, man. Here to it's your last game tomorrow. And you've been doing it the last game in college.
It could be. Could be my last game in college.
Last game. But let's just say, just speaking on tomorrow, right? Because we live in the moment.
Yeah.
You start as the starter, then you're not the starter, and then you win the job back. And now you lead your fellas here to Atlanta for the first time ever. You win a SWAC title for the first time since 2009. Atlanta was the goal from the beginning. It was sung by your coach.
Yeah.
Shared all over social media, right? But now you've been at this since a little boy. What was the first team you ever played for?
First team I ever played for, Southwest Steers in Missouri City, Texas.
Yeah, Southwest Steers.
Southwest Steers. Shout out Coach Shaw. Shout out Coach. Shout out my dad, honestly, too. He coached me a little bit as well. But I want to shout out Coach Shaw he was the first coach to put me as a quarterback and to lead a team. So I always shout out to him.
He said, "Come back, Cam. MV Peters." Yeah, man. So, man, tomorrow, man, I just want to just say, listen, it's been a joy just covering you guys, man. And even though I'm an Alabama A&M guy, I root for every single team in the HBCU.
That's real.
Except for when you play mine. And even after you play mine, game-recognized game, man. Y'all got a legit team.
Yeah.
You got some really, really great group of coaches, great group of young men, man. I'm proud of you guys. And we're just going to look to see how it unfolds tomorrow at high noon on that field. But enjoy the whole moment, man.
Yeah.
Because when that clock hits 0,
we'll get it back.
We'll get it back. Cam Peters.
I appreciate it.
QB1, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll be back to wrap things up just in a moment. Stick with your boy, though. All right, so Wild Wayne's been here all day, and he's enjoyed himself immensely. Some of the things that I have for you guys coming ahead tomorrow. We're not done with the coverage just yet because tomorrow we've got more access coming. You know, tomorrow you're going to have, I've got some on-field work that I'm going to have for you before and even after the game, right? Not sure about how we're going to do it. We may do a little something tomorrow, but regardless, you're going to see a wrap up regardless. Okay. So I'll have some interviews definitely with people from the winning team. I'll have some good footage from before the game. So you guys will be able to see all that. But last but not least, y'all, you know, since you've been watching, I want to make sure everybody hits the stream and like it. Make sure you share the stream with people because we've got some really, really good things that we've done all day. One of the things that I do have to say, I did have an interview with Adam Schefter of ESPN earlier today. For some reasons, I was trying to load up. I recorded it because he came in before the live window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually post the video to my YouTube channel. And what I want everybody to do, I want everybody to go back and I want you to watch my interview with Adam Schefter. Not only was it real, but he also had a very strong message for type 1 diabetics. And I want to make sure everybody sees that to support the mission and support the cause. And also just quite frankly, it was just pretty doggone entertaining, man. It was a live moment in his job that took place during that part of the show when we were recording. And he asked me if we would edit, and I said, no, I said it's real. So you're going to see that on the recording. And I plan on posting that here as soon as we finish up here. So one thing that's left remaining for everybody, I said I would do it when I got here to Atlanta. And so I'm going to finish off the show with this. All right. The trends. And Coach Jackson said that he watched this and sees all of it. And he saw all these trends. And, 200 yards, more than 200 yards throwing. You saw I just sat with Cam Peters. When they throw for more than 200 yards, they're undefeated 7-0. right? They only allow one 100-yard rusher and one 100-yard receiver, and have yet to allow a 300-yard passer. On the other side, South Carolina State, they're unbeaten when they throw for more than 300 yards. They've only allowed one 300-yard passer, but you look at it, they've had one turnover in at least 10 of the 12 games that they played. All of the numbers, I went over all of it on Sunday night, so for the sake of time, I'm not going to go back into that, but I will hit this right quick, is the keys to the game for Wayne Cartwright, right? You got to hit your marks, man. You got to hit your marks. Got to hit your marks. Hit your marks. 200 yards rushing and 200 yards passing, right? If you're Prairie View, you got to limit the explosive plays and do what you did last week if you can. That's control the time of possession. And also for South Carolina State, they got to establish that running game to set up the pass. You heard me earlier. I sat with their offensive coordinator, Jonathan Williams. He talked about how it was important to really, control that time possession and not turn that ball over. Also, they got to get after the quarterback. And then lastly, I showed you that stat on the other slide. You got to take care of the ball, no turnovers. So all that remains is, who is Wild Wayne picking to win this game? I said I would do it here in Atlanta. And so I'm going to set it up by saying this, ladies and gentlemen. I've been very, very surprised all year with one squad. I was not surprised with South Carolina State at all, because I had them finishing 9-3. Now, while I did not have them winning the MEAC, I had them finishing 9-3, and they finished 9-3. But I did not know what you were going to get from this Prairie View team. And I tell you, the more that I've looked at them, the more I've studied them, the more time that I even spent with them today, there's a different look that I see in the eyes of these young men. And there's a determination that says that they really want to go out and prove that last week was definitely not a fluke. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Wild Wayne Cartwright is going Prairie View Panthers 24-21. So this is the creme de la creme, as they love to say. And we are so excited to be here in Atlanta. And I've been so excited to bring you all this today live from Radio Row. Thank you to all my guests that have joined me today. Shout out to Mr. Grant, John Grant, who is the executive director of this thing. I sat with him earlier. If you just joined, there's so much into this show that you guys need to go see. Shout out to Commissioner of the MEAC, Sonja Steels, for joining me once again. She sat down with me. Shout out to Adam Schefter again. Stay tuned later. You'll see me added into the show. But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. It's been great, but we still got more to come. So for Wild Wayne Cartwright, we'll see you later. God bless.
Thank you for joining us on the ride with Wild Wayne Cartwright. As you exit the ride, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button, and catch up on all of our prior episodes. Until next time, God bless.